Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Tuesday again to everybody. These kind of videos I hate to make. And it only takes a level of stupidity that is out of this atmosphere. And if you don't believe in flat Earth, which I don't, then out of this galaxy even. And the reason I hate making these type of videos is because I'm a Clemson guy. Some call me a Clemson YouTuber, even though I do YouTube about the entire landscape of college football, not just Clemson. But to watch what I've been witnessing, I was about to say for this season with Clemson, but it goes back further than this season. It goes all the way back to since the South Carolina game last year, when South Carolina put up 500 yards on Clemson, but still lost by 3 touchdowns, and all the Clemson fans said the sky was falling. Oh, there's no way we can beat Alabama or Oklahoma or anybody else in the playoffs if we play like we did against South Carolina. Our defense is terrible. Meanwhile, it was the best defense we had in the history of Clemson football. So this season starts. We play against a terrible Georgia Tech week 1. Georgia Tech scores, 14 points, 16 points, whatever it was. I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. Blew them out. Trevor, what did Trevor Lawrence have? He had like 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. 2 interceptions, something like that. I don't even remember. I didn't write this down. It doesn't matter. Then week 2, we play against the top 15. "Quote unquote, top 15 SEC team in Texas A&M. Everyone's saying, what's going on with Trevor? He doesn't look like himself. Trevor's not playing good. The offense looks terrible. Then we go out against Syracuse, travel up to Syracuse last week. Trevor Lawrence throws for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, runs for another touchdown. So a total of 4 touchdowns and 400 yards. And the first thing I saw when I went on Twitter and Facebook was a bunch of people whining and crying about the offense doesn't look good. We need to shape things up. And I go on there and I say, look, why are people complaining about Trevor Lawrence, the way Trevor Lawrence is playing when he throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns? And they go, well, we're not complaining. We just think the offense doesn't look near as good as it should. And we have higher expectations. They should be reaching their potential. Over 500 yards of offense in that game. And won 42 or 41-6. And they're saying we're not reaching our potential. And this irritates me. I even had one guy on there come on there and tell me, because somebody commented and said, oh, that's because us Clemson fans are spoiled. And I said, I don't call it spoiled. I call it being a moron. And this guy immediately comments, says, I follow you on YouTube and on Twitter and Facebook, and normally you're entertaining, but calling people morons is childish just because they don't agree with you. No, it's not about agreeing with me. It's about looking at the facts. How about look at the facts? And yes, I do believe that people that think that Clemson isn't reaching their potential are morons. If that hurts your feelings, I don't know how long you've been following me on any of these outlets, but if you think my feelings matter or your feelings matter to me, then clearly you haven't been watching me for very long, because they don't. I'm the first to criticize Clemson when there's criticism that's deserved. Let's look at the reality, the facts of the situation. Here's the past 5 seasons, the previous 4 seasons and this season. After 3 games. Now keep in mind that 2015, 16, 17, and 18, within the first 3 weeks of football, we played teams like Furman and Citadel in cupcake games at least 1 or 2 times in that 3-game period. This year, 2019, the one in question, we have played all Power 5 teams, including, again, a top 15 SEC team in Texas A&M. Well, here's the numbers. These are total offense, total yards per game through 3 weeks. 442, 456, 524, 517, and oh, look! 2019, 544. The highest in the past 5 seasons. Touchdowns, 13, 12, 15, 15, 15. So we're at least matching the amount of offensive touchdowns as all these other years. Points per game, 36, 36, 39, 39, 39. Tied for the highest in the past 5 seasons through 3 games. So exactly what is it about Clemson's offense that's not living up to their potential? Because we've dominated all of these years, and the numbers this year are no different. And in some cases, better. Against better competition within 3 weeks as well. And the only reason I can think or even conjure up, I try to get into these people's heads, but I can't. I wish I could. Is that they were buying into the hype that Trevor Lawrence was Superman. He could do no wrong. If you look at the playoffs last year against Notre Dame and Alabama, he didn't throw a single interception, and he was every pass was accurate. He was lighting the scoreboard up, and they started thinking this guy is immune to throwing an interception. He's not human. It's a 19-year-old kid. For God's sakes. When Dabo Swinney said, after the criticism last year of beating South Carolina by 3 touchdowns, all the fans were crying, "Oh, God, we gave up 500 yards. What's the point of a football game? Is it to put up 1,000 yards, or is it to win the football game? You're so worried about what the stat sheet looks like with Trevor Lawrence. You're more worried about than what the football team looks like? You got to be out of your minds. And I still hold true to my opinion that most of these people that are complaining about winning every game by 30 and 40 points and scoring 40 points a game plus and putting up over 500 yards on average on offense every week against Power 5 teams, that these people were not fans most likely until 2014 or 15 when Clemson was, dominating. Because if they grew up back in the Pell era, in the Hatfield era, in the Bowden era, they wouldn't be complaining about this. They've been enjoying it. And I'm not against criticizing Clemson. Believe me, I'm not. I'm not one of these rainbows and unicorns kind of guys. But if you're going to have an argument that's based on criticizing the offense, then you better have some facts to back it up, other than just the fact that Trevor Lawrence is throwing more interceptions than he should be. Because last time I checked, it's not the Clemson Trevor Lawrences, it's the Clemson Tigers. It's a team sport. He's not the only guy on the football team. And he didn't forget how to play football from January to now. Anyway. Go ahead, leave me the comment. I can see people clicking unsubscribe so fast their head's spinning right now, especially Clemson fans. Look, I'm sorry. Yeah, but look all around the country, man. Look all around the country. Who would you rather have than Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback? Who would you rather have as your head coach than Dabo Swinney? Who would you rather have as your defensive coordinator than Brent Venables? Who else has won 2 out of the last 3 national titles? And you're sitting around complaining about 500 yards per game and 39 points per game average through 3 games against Power 5 teams? Stop it. It's ridiculous. And they say, well, don't tell me how to be a fan. I'm not telling you how to be a fan. I'm just telling you how not to look like an idiot on the internet. And believe me, I know all about looking like an idiot on the internet. I invented it. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete checking out.